Hello, fellow and fellettes. I hope you're all brilliant and loving life. Now, this is going to be episode 2 of our Nitro RC cars for beginners. Now, this is just going to be a little quick one, probably, unless I get off topic and start talking about rubbish as I normally do. But it's going to be a little quick one because I realised in episode 1 I didn't really explain about what car you should pick. I told you about where to get it from and things like, I kind of said what car you should pick, but I didn't really say if you want speed and blah 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 blah, what car you should really go for, because a lot of people seem to be very confused. I don't understand why, because to me it's easy and just common sense, but if you don't know, I'll help you explain and hopefully give you a bit of help on what car you need to pick. So for example, if you want speed, a lot of people, for some reason, I don't know why, you see them all over YouTube, they go and buy an off-road car, they buy a buggy, a monster truck, something like that, and then all they ever want to do is speed runs up and down the tarmac road. You know, how fast will it go? They want to get it to go faster. To me, that seems a bit strange. If you want speed, why would you buy an off-road car? If you wanted speed in a real car, you wouldn't go and buy a Land Rover, would you? You wouldn't go and buy a Defender or a Jeep or whatever it is you would prefer, a pickup truck. You would buy a sports car or some other car that is designed for speed. It's the same with RC cars, in my opinion. If you want actual speed and you're not bothered about going off-road and you just want to do speed runs all the time to see how fast you can get it to go, buy yourself an on-road car. Like this one. Now, granted, this particular one here isn't Nitro. I don't have any Nitro on-road cars because I'm not into that kind of thing anymore. I've had plenty of them over the last 25 years, but not anymore. I've got one that's in bits. I need to put it back together. There's a story about that. If you want to know the story, either go and watch the other video about it, or I'll make a new video at some point because I've got to put it back together. But anyway, if you want speed, think about buying yourself a Nitro on-road car. Couple of reasons why. If you're doing speed runs with an off-road car, they're not designed for speed. It damages them. The engines aren't designed for it. The gearing's not designed for it. The engine's flat out, which isn't good for a Nitro engine, being flat out down the road like that. It's very bad for it. On-road cars, the gearing is designed for speed. The engine is designed for being at high revs for a long period of time, so there's no damage happening to the engine. You know, straight away like that. Very good. So think about that. Think about what you want to do. Do you want to do speed runs on tarmac? Are you going to be running mainly on tarmac or on a road in a car park? And then think about getting an on-road car. That doesn't mean that you can get an off-road car and only go off-road, obviously. For example, let's get rid of this dusty example. This FTX Carnage will perform very well on tarmac and on road because it just will. I mean, of course, if it goes off-road, it's going to go on road. It's not going to grip as well as an on-road car, but that's not the point. We're not talking about grip, we're just talking about speed. So if you decide that you do want speed, you want, because these things, they will probably go 30, 40 mile an hour. Particularly if you put a 2-speed gearbox in it, it will go probably 40 mile an hour. Some will say 50, but I don't know about that. So you can go on-road and have a bit of speed and then go off-road again. Get yourself an off-road car like the FTX Carnage, because the FTX Carnage is the example for this whole series of Nitro RC for beginners. All I'm trying to say is if speed is what you want, and you want things to go fast, think about an on-road car. Don't get yourself an off-road one, because you'll be disappointed. You'll go, oh, it only goes 30 mile an hour, and you'll be like, this is rubbish, and then you'll be annoyed, you'll be upset, you wasted your money, not good. I see people quite often buy these, or they buy a buggy, and then they put on-road slick, tyres on them, and then they use them on-road only, which is fine if that's what makes you happy. But you're never going to get it to go as fast as you would do an on-road car. And I know some people they're gonna disagree. They're gonna say, well, I've done it. I've got a buggy, and I've put this pinion on it. I put this gear on it, this spur, and this other bollocks, and it now goes 60 mile an hour, or 70, or 80, or 90 mile an hour, or 100 mile an hour. Happy days. But you spent a lot of money, and we're on about beginners. We're not on about people who've done stuff, advanced stuff. We're on about beginners, all right? People who buy an RTR car and they want it to do they want it to do what they want it to do out the box, okay? So let's go back to that and stop running away with advanced stuff. We're on about beginners. So beginners here. If you want speed, buy an on-road car. If you want to drive off-road, go on grass, down the park, skate parks, down the woods, gravel car parks, things like that. Buy an off-road car, but it'll still do 30, 40 mile an hour, but it's meant for off-road, and that is what you'll be happy with. So you need to think what you want. Anyway, when they rate these things, sometimes they're very, very optimistic with the speed rating. Sometimes they say it will lose 60 miles an hour, but when you actually try it, it'll do more like 45. Because they just say things like that because they want to sell it, and people aren't going to buy a buggy or a car or something, read the box, 60 miles an hour, happy days, go down the road, 35, and then ring up and go, I don't want this anymore, it only goes 35, you tell it goes 60. Very few people are going to actually complain about the speed rating on a box. So they put whatever they want. People aren't going to, they sell cars. That's what they want to do. So don't always go by what the speed rating on the box is. Not all of them lie, but usually you'll find that the actual car will go nowhere near what the speed says on the box. And yes, bit of a disclaimer, some of them do go exactly what it says on the box, alright? Because I know some of you are going to say, my one goes 50 miles an hour and it says 50 miles an hour on the box. Yeah, some do, some don't, alright? So as I said, that was just a short one. Really, it's an extension to episode 1, but I've already edited and put episode 1 up, and I thought I didn't really explain any of that. So hopefully now, I just wanted to jog you. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people they see what they want. They see probably the FTX Carnage or something else like that. They buy it. They don't think, and then when they actually get it, they've done the running in, which we're going to cover in this series, running in. But that's you have to run your engine in. But we'll go through a whole video on how to do that. They do all that kind of stuff, and then they go down the road, and and they're like, oh, it seems slow. Oh, slow. Because for some reason, humans are weird. For some reason, humans seem to think speed is fun. Don't get me wrong, you want a certain amount of acceleration. You don't want an off-road car that goes, meh, like a crawler. Crawling's a different thing. We'll go into that later on. But, you want a certain amount of speed to have some fun. But some people, they want proper speed. So they get an off-road car, they do that, and they go down, and they're not happy with it. You know what I mean? And they're like, it's not that good. Don't really go very fast. Oh, it's not very fast. And then they get disappointed in what they've bought, and then that's when they give up and they say, oh, Nitro's slow, Nitro's boring. You hear a lot of people say Nitro's slow. Nah, that's people who've got the wrong one. Do you know what I mean? People have got the wrong thing. I can't explain it any other way. If you buy something which is not suited to what you want it to do, you're going to say it's no good because it ain't what you want it to bloody do. How else can I like it? What else can I liken it to? Alright, some of you lot might be into computers and things like that. High-end phones and laptops, computers, gaming computers, alright? If you buy a normal run-of-the-mill computer out of PC World, right? Just a normal run-of-the-mill computer, very good for Word, documents, PowerPoints, browsing the internet, things like that. Perfect. But if you wanted to try and do some gaming, load games and run games at high FPS and all that kind of stuff, it's not going to cope very well. It's going to be slow. It's going to drop frame rates. It's going to be bad. And you're going to go, oh, bloody hell. I don't like this brand of computer. It's no good. Well, you bought the wrong one. You wanted to buy a gaming computer with more RAM, more processing speeds and all this other bollocks. You bought the wrong one. You need to buy a better one. You need to buy one suited for what you want it to do. Same with Nitro RC. You buy a car that's suited to what you want it to do. Now, I'm running out of battery on the camera, so I'm going to wrap this up. But one more thing I'm going to say. You might be thinking, well, I don't know what I want to do yet. I've not had a Nitro car before. I've not had any RC car before. How do I know if I want to be off-road or on-road? I don't know yet. I would recommend that you just simply go and buy an FTX Carnage or something of a similar likeness. And then you'll get an idea of what you want. Be a little bit open-minded. Have fun with this because it's perfectly good for any type of fun. Yeah. Have fun with that and then you decide. You might decide, this is good, I like this, but I do want something that goes a little bit quicker. Then you can think to yourself, right, I'm learning, I'm advancing within the hobby, I'm going to go and buy an on-road car. And have some fun with a bit of speed and see if I like that. And that's how you learn, that's how you progress. So if you don't know what you want, just go and get yourself a good off-road buggy, which will do a bit of speed and a bit of off-road. A bit of both. And then you can decide what you prefer, speed or off-road. Yeah, that's all I can say. Because if you buy an on-road car, you can't really go off-road. And you might think, you might. So that's what I'd recommend. Buy an off-road one. Anyway, I'll catch you later on. And probably I can't say what's going to be in the next episode because I haven't filmed it yet. I don't know what it's going to be. I would imagine probably something like setting up all the servos and all that kind of stuff and starting up your engine for the first time. How to do all of that, probably. So I'll see you in episode 3. Cheerio, you lot. Treat people nice. Treat people how you want to be treated. And we should all have a nice, happy life. And, yeah, let's hope so anyway. Cheerio.